To the Real Estate Show with Pat Lopez, where we talk everything real estate. Today, my guest is Michelle Marchiano of Alpha Real Estate Group.
Alpha Real Estate Group, yes.
Great, great. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, I always start off the show by asking all my guests, how do they get started in real estate? So what was your story? How long have you been a realtor and how did you get started?
I've been a realtor now for 4 years.
Okay.
My great-grandfather actually had, it was called Marchiano Real Estate Group. I think it was in my blood. But a job, the business closed at a job that I had,
Right.
and which sent me to unemployment. And I decided to use the time to go to real estate school and try a new career.
Okay, great. Now, with real estate, you deal with buyers, sellers, and you also seem to do a lot of renters, right? Landlords and renters.
I
You deal with a
do.
lot of that.
I do. I do. I do a lot of rentals, more working on the tenants side of the transaction.
Okay. Now, also looking at your website and some of your bio and some of the information, you used to have a dance school.
I did 30 years.
30, only 30.
Only 30, now 32.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much was my whole life from when I was 6 years old.
Okay.
And I ran it even once I hit like the 25-year mark, I still kept it with another job, kept it part-time. A love, that's my love. Yeah.
Okay. And now do you find with 30 years worth of students, are some of them coming back to you now and say, hey, I need
Yes.
an apartment or I need a house?
Yes, I have to say, in the past 5 years, 4 years, most of my clients have been old dance studio, whether it was mostly the kids that grew up.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And great, it would be a great source, especially if you have, 30 kids a year, multiply all that or more. So yeah, I could really see how how that would work and people would, follow up with you as far as that's concerned. Okay. So the question I have for you would be dealing with renters.
Right.
Is there any one specific thing they're looking for? I know, of course, if they need a 2-bedroom or if they need a yard because they have a dog, everybody's going to be kind of specific. But is there any common theme, or there may not be? Or what do you see?
Not really a theme, just everybody is different. One of the big things is if someone wants to have more community, more
Right.
neighborhoody, they're going to gravitate more towards South Philadelphia, the more residential areas of Fishtown. If they like buildings, and of course they're going to gravitate more towards Center City if they like the amenities
Right.
that come along with living in a building.
Right, the bigger building will have swimming pools and all that kind of
Right.
stuff, and
Right.
a row home is a row home. Okay,
Right.
great. Now, are you seeing people's needs changing because of COVID? Like if they're working from home, maybe they need 2 bedrooms instead of 1 because they want office space, or are you experiencing any of that?
I did see that. Asking for the 2 bedrooms, or maybe just a den or a bigger living room area or a bigger bedroom,
Right.
because they have to now work in the bedroom. The big thing I saw was a lot of them asking for windows in the bedroom because they were going to be in that area a whole lot
Right, they
more.
want some light. Right,
Right.
they're like flowers; they want to grow.
They want to grow. Yes, we all want to grow. We all should grow.
Right, right.
Yes.
Okay, now are you seeing more people from other areas because they're able to have hybrid work? People from, let's say, New York or just, out in the counties, or just people just gravitating, moving more because of COVID?
We
or-
did. I mean, we saw a lot of moving during COVID. It didn't actually start at that time, though. It started, I would say, about 10 years ago.
Okay.
I noticed seeing it a little bit. And then even 5 years ago, seeing a lot more of it, people moving in from Allentown, New York. And then COVID really did it, where a lot of people were moving both ways, though.
Right.
I guess more a lot of college students, young professionals that maybe were, okay, I could move back closer to my home, like their
Right.
hometown where they grew up, whether it was the city or the suburbs.
Right. So they don't have to be close to Center City, Philadelphia. If they were working there, hey, I can move back to wherever, Bucks County or wherever the case may
And right,
be.
to be closer to friends and
Family.
family.
Right.
Right.
Right. Yeah,
Yes.
that makes sense. Okay. Now, as far as prices, I know everything with inflation has been going up. Are you still seeing rental prices still going up? They starting to stabilize? What's
So
going on there?
they did go up, not because of COVID. They went up quite a few years back. Um, it, and I didn't see a raise during COVID. I mean, we saw a lot more availability in the city, people moving back home to the suburbs or
Right.
whatever. Um, but the prices were up before then.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you still see them going up, or are they starting to stabilize
No,
now?
no, they did stabilize. Like they went up. They hit that like wow. It's 1850 for a one bedroom
Right.
now. So in Center City. So we saw that. Um, it- but I didn't see it go up any higher. Like they definitely did stabilize. Yeah.
Okay. Now with the landlords who you work with, what are some of the challenges they have? Because I know everything's more expensive for them as well. Taxes are higher, utilities are higher. I mean, everything's higher.
Exactly.
So what are the landlords telling you?
Everything went up, like you just said, taxes, utilities, the cost of lumber to do renovations. The biggest complaint I hear from the landlords is how hard it is to evict now.
Okay.
The city did a lot with tenants' rights, which is wonderful,
Right.
but made it so hard for the landlords to evict because you do get those people that they just don't want to pay their rent, and it's very hard for them to get them out, and they will go months, months and months without getting paid. And how are they supposed to pay their bills? This is a business,
Right. Yeah.
so
It's really tough if you're on the other side. Everybody thinks,
yes,
oh, I'm a landlord, you're a millionaire, but it could be
not at
a
all.
mom and pop. Hey,
Yeah,
I have one
exactly.
place or two places and that's it. And then you still have a mortgage to pay. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, that is
yes.
difficult.
Yep.
Yeah, because I know even with the city, with COVID, they did a mediation, which now takes about 2 months. So if you're evicting somebody, now there's an additional 2 months where you have to do this mediation thing. So yeah,
It's a process, and then the courts get backed up. So then add another month onto that, and then once they finally do come to a decision, even if it goes in the landlord's favor, now they give them another 30 months to get out. So I mean, you're talking like a half a year sometimes just to go through that
Right,
process.
yes, because then you need the sheriff to come out to do the lockout, and like you said, it's like 30 days, 60 days just to get the lockout. So there's another time as far as that. Okay, so now are you seeing any landlords saying the heck with this, and you're getting a listing opportunity?
I am.
Good.
It's more, I would say more the ones that have been in the business for a very long time and were getting ready to retire
Right.
anyway. They might think of retiring a little bit earlier and given a, young
Whippersnappers
yeah,
a
a
shot.
whippersnapper shot. Yes, exactly. Young buck.
Young buck,
Give
there
a
you go.
young buck a shot. Yeah.
Okay, and then just in general, are you seeing, because I know in the city of Philadelphia, there's all these new buildings going up, a lot of new units are coming online. Are you seeing more options for potential renters? Are you seeing any of that, or with the new buildings and more supply coming online?
Options as far as
I have more choices. I can move here, I can move in this building, I can move in that building, because there's a lot more, places available for you.
um hmm.
Or let me rephrase. Was there always a lot of options for the renters? Like, they could choose between 5 or 6 places
So
if they were looking?
so what happened during COVID were there were a lot more applicants. Instead of having maybe 3 applicants per property, there was maybe, 10 to 20 applicants per property. Um, I don't think that was because there was less units available. I think it was because there was just so many more people that were moving and wanted to rent as opposed to buying.
Okay.
So that's what I saw.
Okay. So now are you seeing for every unit, 10 applicants? I mean, that's changed. That's flip-flopped at this point.
Yeah, right now, there's less I'm seeing less applicants per property. There's not that crazy, like, oh my God, I have to make this decision right now. Yeah,
Right.
they could go home and sleep about it and make the decision in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe more supply coming on board is giving the renters more options if there's not 10 to every unit, or there's just less renters.
Oh,
One of the
well,
two.
you know, like we had talked about before with all these apartment buildings going up, definitely I would say the person that wants to be in a building is going to have a whole lot
Yeah, for the apartment
more
buildings, yeah.
buildings
Yeah, if
to
they,
choose
right,
from,
if they want to
right?
be in a neighborhood, right, there's only so many row houses that are available, so that supply's probably down. But if you like, being in a high-rise building with swimming pools and a gym, you're gonna have the pick of the litter as far as that. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then how many more row houses are they building? Little to none. Right.
Exactly.
Right. So,
Yeah.
right. So if you want to be in a neighborhood, you want that feel, you're going to be limited on availability.
Right.
It's all these bigger buildings is where,
But that still doesn't drive the price up downtown because, again, like we were speaking about before, if you want that neighborhoody, I want to go to the park or the ball field, that person isn't going to want to live in Center City with
that's what
the
they want.
amenities.
Right. Exactly.
So the prices pretty much stay the same.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if that's what you want, that's the niche. You want that feel, that vibe. Right. You're going to pay for that.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Great. Okay. So, if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, they want to buy a house, sell a house, rent a property, because that's one of your fortes. How would they get a hold of you?
Alpha Realty Group.
Okay.
And that was in the beginning we said Alpha Real Estate Group. It's Alpha Realty Group.
Okay.
I'm Michelle Marchiano, and Alpha Realty Group does have a website, Facebook page, Instagram. As
They
far
wanna
as
call you. The
as
heck
far
with them.
as
They
far
wanna
as
call
me
you.
personally, Facebook is great. I'm great with Facebook Messenger. Yeah, they can just Michelle Marchiano, click on me and shoot me a message.
Great. And
Yeah.
we'll post all that information up so they'll have that as well.
Fantastic.
Well, thanks for being on the show. Really appreciate it. Just wanted that insight
Thank you for having
for
me.
rentals. Great.
This was great.
Well, that's the Real Estate Show with Pat Lopez. Be sure to follow the show on Facebook and Instagram and subscribe below. I have some great guests lined up. You don't want to miss any of the shows. Remember, also leave a comment. Tell me what shows you want to hear in the future, what you liked, what you didn't like. Remember, this show is everything real estate, no limits. Hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for watching.